Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm recording this message on the morning of November 9th, 2023. The war has been raging on Gaza, Palestine for more than a month. This morning, as I've been doing every single morning since the war started, I checked the last casualty figures. Close to 11,000 people have been martyred, so many injured, so many displaced people. However, my message is not for the people of Gaza because I feel too inadequate to send them a message. They've been sending us messages of courage, messages of determination, of dignity, of resilience. But my message is for the rest of us. The people have been talking about what the war is all about. I want to share with you this morning what the war is not. 5 things that the war is not. Number 1, the war is not a conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. A conflict is a war between 2 symmetrical powers. There's no symmetry here. It is basically the occupied people resisting their occupiers. It is playing with a hornet's nest for a long time and now complaining why the hornets are stinging those who played with their nest. It is an apartheid at its worst condition. So it is not a conflict. Number two, people have been saying that Israel has the right to defend itself as per Article 51 of the United Nations Charter. Now, I'll take you back in history to 2004 when the International Court of Justice appointed an advisory council on the legality of the walls to be built around Gaza and the West Bank. And that council came back with a report, and in paragraph 139 of that report, it mentions very clearly Israel has no right to defend itself against any territory within its border that has been occupied. Gaza is an occupied territory. Number 3, they've been saying that this is a conflict. Again, they call it conflict. It's a war. Okay, it is not a conflict between Hamas and Israel. Hamas is not to be found in Al-Shifa hospital. Hamas is not to be found at Al-Ahli hospital. Hamas is not to be found at schools. Hamas is to be found, under the ground. That's the reality. So it is not between Hamas and Israel. It's between Israel and the Palestinians. The idea is to erase Palestinians from the map, and some Israelis have been saying that very clearly. Number 4, history did not start on October 7th. History has been in the making for 2 days, 1 month, and 75 years. That's when, Palestine was taken away and it was occupied. And number 5, unfortunately, politicians who are the decision makers are getting their information. They are not being educated about what is happening in Palestine. Suffice to them is to gather information, and that information looks like a student who's been too lazy to do proper research, getting the elements for an essay from ChatGPT. What ends up happening? That essay looks very good to those who are reading it, but it is cheating. So I will call on politicians all over the world, please do your homework, because the people of Gaza, the people of Palestine deserve to be treated equally with other people in other parts of the world. And you know what I mean. May the Almighty bring peace with justice to the people of Gaza. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.